Hi everybody and welcome back. Um, Today I want to talk about the truth about raising a teenager in today's society. Um, First off, I want to say that I'm I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. So that definitely plays a part in being a mother. It plays a part in everything I do, but most importantly, it plays a part in parenting. So I don't want to get too much into puberty and stuff like that, but because I don't want to embarrass her. That's not right, but she is obviously a young lady now, and so hormones are crazy. She's kind of boy crazy, not ridiculously, because there are some 12, 13-year-old girls out there that it blows my mind how fast these kids are. They're, pregnancy at 12 years old, and it's just but some of what my mom talked to me about when I was her age, I take the good things that my mother did and said to me, and the things that didn't work for me, I don't use. Hi, sweetheart. You just looking at Mama talking. You just looking at Mama talking. I'm playing with Elmo. You playing with Elmo. Oh, hi, honey. Okay, so where was I? I've always been very honest with her. I think that's important because, my mother sugar-coated things. Not all the time, and not everything, but she definitely didn't tell us, hardcore truth. And when we got older, my sister and I, especially me, my sister too, but it was like life just slapped you in the face, it knocked you down, because, as a teenager, you kind of think you know everything, and, you think, oh, I could do this, I could get a job, I can have a house, I can, I could do all this, and where'd you go? Where'd you go, Sally? You want a Cheerio? You want a Cheerio? There you go. Yummy. So I definitely feel it's important to tell kids the truth about life. And I tell her the truth about drugs. She has witnessed my addiction. And it does make me feel like shit. Honestly, it does. But then at the same time, it makes me feel like, well, since she's seen what I went through, hopefully she won't want anything to do with it, you know? But at the same time, the things these kids are growing up on is awful. The music is nothing but drugs, sex. Like, I remember when I was a teenager, which, it was 15, we'll say like 15 years ago. I'm 33. Okay, maybe like 18 years ago, but still. Being called a hoe or a whore was a bad thing. Like, you didn't want to be called that, so you didn't do things to be called that. Now, with this generation, it's celebrated. It's a good thing. There's actually a Kanye West song. Come here, sweet baby. There's actually a Kanye West song with, what the heck is that little guy's name? Little Pump or something like that. And all it says is, "You're such a effing hoe. I love it. I love it." And I'm like, are you kidding me? It's crazy. So these kids have influence, terrible influences all around them. And, I know a lot of people say that, like, music doesn't make you do things. Music doesn't affect your behavior, but that's bullcrap. It absolutely does. And I could say that from experience. There was a lot of things that I did in my life, and maybe I, like, felt bad about it, but I would listen to, like, a certain song, and then I wouldn't feel bad anymore. It made me feel like I was justified in doing what I did. So it absolutely does influence behavior, and it makes you justify bad things. It just does. That's the truth. So they have all these terrible influences, and that's really hard to deal with, because you don't want to keep them sheltered. I don't want to keep her sheltered from everything, because that's one of the worst things you could do, because when they get out of the house, they're going to go buck wild. And, I don't want that to happen. So, it's hard. It's you're like stuck between a rock and a hard place with this stuff. You really are. It's, I gotta pause this a second. Okay. She is trying to stand on everything, and it makes me so nervous. But anyways, as I was saying, so um also, like, the social media, it's, again, you don't want to keep them sheltered. I don't want to keep her sheltered, I should say. And but the social media thing, it's just, it truly affects their brain. It affects their everything. Like, there's a video of one of the creators of Facebook. He's like a Indian guy or something, like from India, and he's talking about like how damaging it is, social media. And he said they knew that creating it, but they created it anyways. And there you go, babe. Because, like, children are looking for approval. And, I mean, even adults are. Humans in general are looking for approval. And so you put a picture of yourself and you either get likes or you don't get likes. Maybe you get nasty comments or whatever. That affects a child's self-esteem, like, severely. And so when they get likes or hearts or whatever, that it actually releases, I think it's dopamine. It's like a drug. It releases dopamine in the brain. And so you find that kids are doing anything, putting half naked and sometimes fully naked pictures of themselves to get likes. Like, it's just awful. And so I don't monitor her social media, because I don't want her to think I don't trust her. I do trust her. She's a pretty good kid, when it comes to that stuff. She's nowhere near ready for anything like that. I could just tell, she's still very awkward when it comes to that kind of stuff. I mean, she does have a boyfriend, but, like, they don't even see each other, She doesn't go to school. She does cyber school because last year she was bullied so much. I mean, it was beyond bullying. She was threatened. She was threatened every day. She was assaulted. One time, the girl bit her in her arm. I was calling the principal at least 3 times a week, and nothing was ever done. And I'm like, and you wonder why, like, these school shootings happen. And I'm not justifying them. I'm not. I'm just saying, like, you're supposed to have an anti-bullying policy, like a zero tolerance thing. But yet you're just allowing the bullying to go on. So she missed like 40 some days of school last year because I wasn't sending her where she was not safe. I refused to do it. And so she does the cyber school this year. And so, she does have like one friend who lives above us, and they hang out, like, so she's not completely like cut off from the world, but like she doesn't get to see her boyfriend and stuff like that. It's more of a online relationship. And he talks to her dad. Her dad talks to him. They play like games or something online. I don't understand all that stuff. I'm not very technical, but so let's see. What else did I want to talk about? Okay, so mood swings. It gets very difficult. She loves to argue. She loves to argue with me, and like when we were teenagers, we would never even think of arguing with our mom. We would have got smacked. We would, no, it just wasn't happening. I don't necessarily like to smack my kids. I have smacked Monty on her butt when she was young, like 4, 5, 6. Honestly, I could count on one hand how many times I did it, because she really is a good kid. Like, she really has never done anything crazy bad, but like I feel children, you have to set a boundary. Like, they have to respect you, because otherwise, like, it's whoa. Because otherwise, like, it's just, they're gonna go out into the real world, and they're just, it's not gonna be good. So anyways, yeah, she really likes to argue, and what I will do is threaten to take her phone off of her, but I don't follow through with that, because I'll be honest, like, sometimes it's just easier to just let her have it. Like, it keeps her occupied, and no parent is perfect, but if she does something really crazy, I will take the phone off of her. If she's getting way too smart, or something, like, I will take it off of her. And that's rare. But, like, I'm not gonna punish her for these itty bitty little arguments that she likes to do. Like, she'll argue with me over the dumbest things, and it gets so irritating. But I'm not gonna punish her for that. I tell her, like, stop it. I'm your mother. You need to respect me. Like, quit trying to argue with me about everything. And I'll tell you what, I've never, in 13 years, never have needed a break from Imani. And last weekend, she was going to her dad's, and I'll tell you what, I just felt a weight lifted, because there's been so much tension with her going through this stage of adolescence, teen, whatever they call that. I don't, like I said, I don't want to get into too much detail about what a young lady goes through, you know, because I don't want to embarrass her. But I'll tell you what, I was, and then I felt guilty. And then I felt guilty that I actually needed a break from my daughter. I felt guilty. Like, I don't like that. I don't want to feel like that. I love my kids. I love, like, when Amani is in a good mood, I love it. It's just, you know, me, her, and Amaya, that just makes, it fills my heart with joy. It just makes me feel full and complete. But those times she's in a bad mood, it's just, I'm telling you. But it is very hard. It is, you know, she was such a good kid all her life, and this stage just hit me like a ton of bricks, you know. And I get sad, I get frustrated. She makes me cry. It just, it's rough sometimes. It really is. It's hard. You want to protect them. You want to keep them safe. And with the way society is today, it's insane. It's just truly insane. Like, the kids are not all right. I think that was like a title of either a song or an album by The Offspring. The kids are not all right. I'm telling you, they're not all right. They're not. This generation is just like something I've never seen. The world has never seen. It's crazy. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say that I can think of. So anybody who's has little girls out there, get ready. Like, try to prepare yourself now, because it is, like I said, it's a ton of bricks just hitting you, you know. It's rough. It really is. And you know, there's good times, and then the bad times are just awful. It's I can't even describe it. I mean, but so I think we're at like almost 24 minutes. So thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video.